Batman vs Superman? Ha, that's for nerds.
Oh my god! Hey. Awful.
Eye in the Sky is directed by Gavin Hood, written by Guy Hibbard, and features Helen Mirren as a military officer that is put in charge of an operation to capture terrorists in a small Kenyan town. When she and her team discover that the terrorists are planning to suicide bomb the town, well, a decision has to be made, and it has to be made fast, because lives are at stake. And hey, if that's not stressful or complicated enough for you, a little girl enters the equation when she sets up shop right outside the kill zone. Right outside the house that the terrorists are arming their suicide vests. Everybody involved in the operation then has to decide whether or not killing one child to save hundreds of lives is the right thing to do, morally or politically. First off, Helen Mirren is pretty good in this role. Note how I say pretty good instead of amazing or superb, because really she's not that great. If seeing her on the poster is a selling point for you and you really like her, you'll probably love her in this, but honestly, for everybody else, she is not a selling point for this movie. Everybody else is, though. In my opinion, Alan Rickman completely steals the show in the role of General Benson. Now, he uses absolutely every last bit of screen time that he has, every single line that he has, and makes everything that he says a memorable moment. I loved him in this. Aaron Paul plays a new drone operator, and I have to say that he's kind of shaky at the beginning, but by the end, his performance is perfect. Whether or not you're seeing his whole body, just his face, or just his fingertip, you can tell that he is putting all he has into this role. Oh yeah, there are some really, really awkward lines in this movie. For example, Aaron Paul, who is a new drone pilot, is talking to a new recruit about how long they've been in the job and their personal lives. This has been used in thousands upon thousands of movies, and it's been done to death. But you can still pull it off well. This was not done well. It was basically Aaron Paul going like, "Oh, hello there, I am Pilot Man. Oh, you a pilot too? Whoa, I am Pilot Man. Pilot Man, I'm a pilot. I haven't been doing this for long. Pilot. I'm a pilot man. Pilot man. Pilot." There are quite a few lines like that that make this seem like a dumb action movie, which is exactly the opposite of what this actually is. Oh, and the CGI was pretty bad at times, and I understand that this was fairly low budget and they didn't have a ton of time on their hands, so I understand why it was used, but it was still pretty bad. It's not really used enough for me to take a point away from the movie, it's just something to mention. Because this movie is set in the future, which is never actually stated or made clear in the movie, I wouldn't have known before going in if I didn't look at the IMDb page. It expects you to stretch your imagination in terms of gadgets. Like, this guy pulls out a PSP Go at one point with no analog sticks, presses a button, pulls out a robot scarab out of his pocket and flies it as a drone perfectly with a D-pad and 4 buttons into a house where no one hears it at all. The audience that I saw it with groaned at that. That's definitely one of the more groan-worthy moments. The direction was pretty great, though. There are some really interesting camera angles that they get from these tiny little drones that they use in the movie. The conversations were edited well, and the cinematography was really solid. I also loved how tense and unexpected the third act of this movie was. I didn't expect it at all, because the first 2 acts were incredibly drawn out, to the point where it was just ridiculous. If something could have gone terribly wrong in the first 2 acts to increase the runtime even by a couple of minutes, it happened. Oh cool, now that that's over we can bomb the shit out of this building. Oh wait, no, there's an elephant crossing the road nearby, we can't do that. Oh wait, it's an old, dumb, blind, crippled elephant with 1 leg. Oh no, this is so bad. Oh, I can't believe this is happening. We can't do anything for another 20 minutes. You know, I say that, and the audience that I saw it with actually did groan quite a few times when those moments happened. But there are some genuinely tense scenes. The movie is also incredibly self-aware about these moments and makes jokes about them. What I really loved about this film is how it showed the human side of war in a way that we don't really see too much. Instead of focusing completely on soldiers on the ground, it shows the very realistic future of fighting, attacking, and spying with drones. More specifically, the people that control those drones and at the end of the day, decide whether lives are going to be taken. It shows the steps that have to be taken to get an attack past, the moral dilemmas that are faced when people get in the way, and the guilt of finally pulling that trigger. There's a brilliant line that Alan Rickman delivers at the end of this movie that I really can barely give context to without spoiling everything, but it's along the lines of, hey, basically, I've seen the aftermath of suicide bombings. I've been on the ground. I've been a soldier. Don't you ever try and tell a soldier what human life is worth. Of course, I'm paraphrasing, and I'm paraphrasing terribly, but it really, really hit me, and it's something that has stayed with me from this film. Overall, Eye in the Sky is well directed, beautifully shot, features some really great performances, and has a third act that will break your heart in 6,000 pieces and leave you wanting to die. I mean, E.T. is pretty much the only movie at this point that will actually make me cry, and this movie almost got a tear out of me, so hey, that's saying something. The third act alone is worth the price of admission, and that is why I am giving Eye in the Sky an 8.5 and my Blu-ray seal of approval. Go out and see it. Support it, give it your money, because I don't think that it had a marketing budget at all, considering I haven't heard anything about this movie at all. Have you guys seen this? If so, what did you think? Don't lie, you saw Batman vs Superman instead of this. Anyway, what should I review next? Hope you have a great day, and happy watching. I've decided that I'm not going to review Gods of Egypt until it comes out on Blu-ray, so then I can buy it on Blu-ray, and then I can actually show you clips of it, because really, it's so much better that way. It's gonna be a fun one. Hopefully, I'm thinking of getting like a whole room of people and just doing it Red Letter Media style, because I love those guys. They're the best. Best of the worst is amazing. Anyway, I'm gonna go... Woo! Oh, God. Oh, my legs. It's 11 o'clock. What follows two brothers that are separated at a very young age, and after a long 28 years, they are reunited. The older brother, Nobby, has become a football hooligan who has 11 children, no respect for anyone or manners, and leeches off the government. The other one has become a secret agent. Yep, you already know where this is going. You know exactly where this is going. There's no time to catch up, however, as they have to form an unlikely partnership to save the world from biochemical warfare. Just the normal Wednesday stuff, you know. Tuesday, that's past, right? Wednesday, save the earth a little bit from some chemicals. Sacha Baron Cohen plays Nobby, and he does as well as you'd expect, and as well as we've seen of him. Mark Strong basically plays the same character that he does from Kingsman, and I can't complain. I'm gonna be completely honest with you right here. I'm gonna be blunt. I didn't want to see this movie. I had no expectations. I cringed at absolutely everything in the trailer, but I have to say that the comedy really worked in this film. Most of the time with comedy movies like this, everything is in the trailer, and the funniest bits are in the trailer, and you see the trailer 100 times before you actually get into the cinema. By the time you see them on screen, you just groan, because it's over, it's gone, I don't care. But this movie takes those generic ideas, and it takes the stuff that they've even put in the trailers that makes it look like a terrible movie, and they spin it around completely on its head, or at least enough to keep you interested and to surprise you.